Hello, all of you, and welcome to yet another session of Motion. In this, basically, we are going to be talking about acceleration. But before talking about acceleration, we are going to do uniform and non uniform velocity. That is very, very important because usually uniform and non uniform velocity comes in the exam, and average velocity is very important. Average speed is very important, and the numericals are also very, very important. Plus, acceleration is also having a lot of importance in the examination. Yes, now like we discussed about uniform and non-uniform motion, we all have discussed. But what is uniform and non-uniform velocity then? Let's try to understand that. Basically, uniform velocity is when equal displacement is covered in equal interval of time. When equal displacement is covered in equal interval of time, then it is said to be uniform velocity. And second, non-uniform velocity, when unequal displacement is covered in equal interval of time or equal displacement is covered in unequal interval of time, then it is said to be a non-uniform velocity. So it is just something very, very easy that we should remember because it comes off marks in the exam, 2 or 3 marks. Then one more important thing here we have that here we can easily understand that the velocity is a vector quantity, meaning that it depends on the direction also. So we need to keep in mind that even if it is uniform, the velocity is uniform, but if the direction is changing, then we cannot say it as uniform velocity. We are going to say it non-uniform velocity only because it depends upon the direction of the object. Whereas speed does not depend on the direction of the object, just the magnitude. Okay, whereas velocity depends. That's why it, if the direction changes, it will be still termed as non-uniform velocity. Please keep in mind that you will write in the exam uniform, it will be wrong. It is non-uniform only. Okay, now let's move to the next topic. Yes, one more point I would like to tell you that, and it is very, very important point as well, that for uniform velocity, we can calculate the instantaneous velocity. That means at the same time, we can calculate the velocity. But if we talk about the non-uniform velocity, then basically we calculate the average velocity. And how do we calculate the average velocity? Let's understand. Calculating the average velocity, we have a formula. What is that formula? Initial velocity. Basically, we write initial velocity as u. U is the symbol for initial velocity. That means earlier the velocity was this. Plus final velocity upon 2. This is the formula for calculating the average velocity. And the formula for calculating the average speed is total distance covered upon total time taken. Okay, this is going to be your average speed and average velocity, initial velocity plus final velocity upon 2. This is for average velocity. Average velocity. And here I'm writing S right now, just don't get confused. Average speed. These are the two formulae that you need to keep in mind because these two formulae are very, very important here. Now let's have one numerical for understanding this. Yes. So the question is that an object travels 16 meters in 4 seconds and another 16 meter in 2 seconds. Calculate average speed. This is a very, very easy question. See, we know that average speed is equals to total distance traveled upon total time taken. So average speed total distance is 16 plus 16. Yes, first 16 meter in 4 seconds, then another 16 meter in 2 seconds. And time 4 plus 2, 6. Total time, which will give us 32 by 6, which is equals to 5 are 30, then 3, 3 bar, okay. Then it becomes 5.33 meters per second. So this is your average speed, 5.33 meter per second. I hope average speed is clear, and for average velocity we are gonna do some numericals. But first let's move to an important topic, that is acceleration. Now we're gonna begin with acceleration. Now just tell me, what do you understand by acceleration? First of all, just learn the formula of acceleration, because formula is very, very important. So the formula is change in velocity. I'm writing velocity as v upon time. This is the formula of acceleration, or we can say v minus u upon t. We know change in velocity, initial minus final. Initial will be greater, final will be shorter, upon time. So we can say that acceleration is the rate change in velocity. Okay, the rate change in velocity. Basically, whenever the velocity is changing, then acceleration occurs, because after a period of time it is changing. So in this manner, we can easily calculate acceleration. And the unit for acceleration is meter per second square. Okay, meter per second square. This is the unit for calculating the acceleration of any body. So just keep in mind, this unit is very, very important. On the basis of that, we'll be solving the numericals also on the basis of acceleration. Now let's move to the different types of acceleration. Okay. Now in acceleration, we have two important things. One is u, which is the initial velocity. One is v, that is the final velocity. And one is t, which means the time taken. So we can have different types of acceleration on the basis of two things. First thing is the value of u and v. And second thing on the basis of uniformity. So let's first understand the value of u and v. So if the value of v is greater than u, then the acceleration will be positive. Okay, that acceleration is known as positive acceleration when v is greater than u. When final velocity is greater than the initial velocity, then the acceleration is positive. Second thing, when u is greater than v, then the acceleration is negative if the initial velocity is greater than the final velocity. Keep in mind, because it is very, very important. And negative acceleration has a specific name called as retardation. What do we say? Retardation. For negative acceleration, and positive acceleration is acceleration only. In negative acceleration, we have retardation. So this is on the basis of the value of u and v. On the basis of uniformity, we can have uniform acceleration or non-uniform acceleration. So basically, uniform acceleration is if the rate change of velocity, that is acceleration, remains constant throughout the motion, then it is called uniformly accelerated motion or uniform accelerated motion. That means the acceleration is constant with respect to the time. Okay. And second type is non-uniform acceleration. If the rate change of velocity doesn't remain constant and keeps changing, then it is called non-uniform acceleration. So if it is not constant and it is changing, then we can say that it is non-uniform acceleration. But how do we calculate? Let's make a table to understand it in a better manner. Yes, so this is the table. This is displacement, time, velocity, acceleration, because we know that acceleration is because of change in velocity and velocity is because of displacement and time. So with this table, we are trying to clarify. Suppose displacement is 5, time is 1, 5 meter 1 second. Then what is going to be the velocity? Displacement upon time? 5 upon 1 is 5 meter per second. I'm not writing the units right now. You have to write the units because units are very important. All the units are very, very important. Then what is going to be the acceleration? V minus u upon t. So how do we? Acha, wait. then 12, in the next case 2 seconds, and velocity will be 12 upon 2, that is 6 meter per second. Yes, displacement upon time. Now, how can we calculate acceleration? See, this is the final velocity, this is initial velocity for this case. Okay, for case A, because this is initially and after change, it is velocity is 6 meter per second. Right now, it is 5 meter per second. After change, it is 6 meter per second. That means acceleration is taking place. So, as per formula, V minus U upon T, we can write it as 6 minus 5 upon 1, because 1 second, we can easily understand, within 1 second it is changing this much. That means the acceleration is 1 meter per second squared. So here we are going to write 1 meter per second squared. That is your acceleration. Then let it be 21 meter, 3 seconds. And then what is going to be the velocity? 7. Here 32, 4 seconds. Velocity is going to be 8. Yes. 1 minute. Yes. Now we can easily calculate that. After that we can instantaneously, that means at the same time, simultaneously we can calculate. Next is going to be 40. Then this is, sorry, not 40, 1 minute. Sorry. Next is going to be, I think, 45. And this can be 5. So this will be 9, like this, I can say. So for case 2, I will say that this is my U. Okay. This is my V and T is 2. So 7 minus 6 upon 2. What do we get? Sorry, upon 1, because time is 1 only. Yes, time taken is 1 second, you can say, because difference between these two is 1. Clear? So again, it is 1 meter per second square. Here, if we talk about again V minus U upon T, you can write 8 minus 7 upon 1, because in between there is a gap of 1 second. We can easily observe 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Again 1 meter per second square, again 1 meter per second square. That means here acceleration remains constant, and hence it is uniformly accelerated motion, or we can say uniform acceleration. This category is known as uniform acceleration. Now let's move to non-uniform acceleration. Sorry, actually I was just erasing it. Now we are moving towards the non-uniformly accelerated motion. Suppose displacement is 1 meter right now. Then time taken is 1 meter. Sorry, 1 second. Then next we have 5 meter of displacement, but 2 second now. Now we have 15 meter, 3 seconds, 32 meter, 4 seconds. Now, can't we calculate the velocity? Easily we can calculate 1 upon 1, that is 1 meter per second. 5 upon 2, that is 2.5 meter per second. 15 upon 3, that is 5 meter per second. 32 by 4, that is 8 meter per second. Now, if we calculate the acceleration, 1 second again, time is constant, 1, 1, 1. The gap is of 1 second. And we can easily observe this is 1 second, then 1 second, then 1 second. So t is going to be 1 second. Now 2.5 minus 1 upon t, that will give me 1.5 meter per second square. Then 5 minus 2.5 upon 1, that will give me 2.5 meter per second square. Then 8 minus 5 upon 1, that is 3 meter per second square. So here we are able to see that acceleration is not constant, isn't it? And as acceleration is not constant, this is non-uniform acceleration. or non-uniformly accelerated motion. The motion is going to be non-uniformly accelerated. So if this table is clear, then you all can get ready for the numericals, because now we will be solving the numericals of acceleration and average speed. So let's move to the first numerical, and the numerical is that a scooter acquires a velocity of 36 kilometer per hour in 10 seconds just after the start. It takes 20 seconds to stop. Calculate the acceleration in two cases. Let's calculate. Now case number 1. Now here you can see that one word I would like to tell you. Please remember this word. It is very, very important. The word is just after the start. What does it mean? Just after the start, that means initially it was not moving. Just now it has started. Initially it was at rest, meaning that initial velocity is equals to 0. Whenever you are given with just after the start, yeah, just started, है then always initial velocity is going to be 0. Keep in mind, because initially it was at rest and now it has started. So V is equals to 36 kilometer per hour. It is better to convert it into meter per second because the time is given in seconds, right? So it is better to convert into meter per second. So how do we convert? I told you in my previous videos. Multiplied by 5 upon 18. Okay. 18 ones are 18 twos are 2 and 5, 10 meters per second. This is your final velocity in meters per second. Now in first case, it is given to us that time is 10 seconds. Isn't it? Time is 10 seconds. So we'll write that as we know, acceleration is V minus U upon T. That means acceleration is going to be what? Acceleration is going to be 10 minus 0 upon 10. Yes or no? First, they are saying that it is 10 seconds. So I can say 10 upon 10, that is equals to 1 meter per second square. Remember to put square. This is your acceleration in the first case. I hope first case is clear so that we can move towards the second case. Now let's move to case number 2. It is saying it takes 20 seconds to stop. Now the time has been changed that 20 seconds after it stops. That means velocity is the same, final velocity 10 meter per second, isn't it? And time, that initial velocity is the same, that is 0 meter per second. So just we'll write acceleration is equals to V minus U upon T. So acceleration is going to be, V is nothing but 10, U is 0 upon 20. That is equals to 0.5 meters per second square. Yes. So this is your answer, 0.5 meter per second square. This is your acceleration. So two cases now you can write the final statement that in the first case it is 1 meter per second square. And in the second case it is 0.5 meters per second square. So this is your answer, complete answer, and this question basically is asked of, what happened? It comes of 3 marks in the examination. So you will get direct 3 marks. Nobody can cut your marks. So just remember this important thing. Now let's move to the next question. It is also interesting. Now the next question is that the odometer of a car reads 2000 kilometer at the start of the trip and 2400 kilometer at the end of the trip. If the trip took 8 hours, calculate speed of the car in both kilometers per hour and meters per second. See, odometer is a device which tells us the distance, that this much distance we have covered in that interval of time. So in the beginning, it was 2000 before the trip started. And after that, it was 2400, that is 2400. So if we subtract both of them, we can get the distance. That means earlier it was this, now it is this. Means here to here, that means if we subtract, then we are going to get the distance. The distance we can easily subtract. Distance is 400 kilometers. This much distance has been traveled. We can easily see. Now, if the trip took 8 hours, calculate speed of the car in kilometer per hour and meters per second. So first kilometer per hour first, you're going to calculate. So speed is equals to distance upon time. So speed is equals to what? 400 upon 8. 0 to 0. So I think it is 5 meters per second. Is it 5 meter per second? Once just check. Sorry, what meter per second? Actually, kilometer per hour. Wait. Actually, it was kilometer, no? Sorry, actually, it was 8 hours. My mistake. So 8. So it remains 0. So it is 50 kilometer per hour. This is your speed in kilometer per hour. And if you want to convert it into meter per second, multiply it by 5 by 18. And it is going to be 13 point. I have calculated, that's why I'm telling you 13.9 meter per second. How? Do the calculation. This is the basic mathematics that you all should know. How do we do? See, first thing, take that 50, multiply 50 by 5 upon 18. If you want to, sorry, this time 18 by 5, yes. Second, yes. 18 by 5 because you're converting it 5 by 18 or 18 by 5? Actually, we're converting it into meter per second, sorry. 5 by 18 only, yes. 5 by 18. So if you just solve much, 2 25s are 50 and 2 9s are. So it becomes 125 by 9. Now can't you solve 125 by 9? It is so simple. You're going to get 13 point, I think 8, you can say 8 bar. So that is equal to 13.9 in meters per second. 13.9 meter per second you have got as your speed, and in meter per second, and 50 kilometer per hour is speed in kilometer per hour. So just keep this in mind. Okay, keep this in mind. These type of numericals are usually asked, highest probability that they always come in the examination. So we should be thorough with these type of numericals. The other type of numericals can also come in the examination. So that's why please keep in mind that how to solve these type of numericals, especially for acceleration. Any kind of numerical can come and you should be able to answer those kind of numericals. Okay, now let's try one or two more numericals and then we are going to end the session. Okay, so let's get into the other numericals. Yes, Acha, this question is about distance and displacement. Let's do, in every class we are solving the questions of distance and displacement. An object is moving in a circle of radius r. Wait 1 minute. Yes. So an object is moving in a circle. Suppose this is a circle of a radius r. Let's say this is the radius r. Calculate distance traveled and displacement. So distance traveled will be the circumference, isn't it? If an object is here and if it will travel, then this is going to be the circumference of the circle, that is 2 pi r. So this is your distance and displacement is 0. Okay, and if I'm giving you one more here, if it travels half of a circle, then if it travels this much portion only, then Distance is going to be half, so 2 pi r upon 2, that is pi r. Okay, pi r is the answer here. And what about the displacement? This is the distance. This is distance and displacement. What is going to be displacement here? This is r. That means the whole diameter is going to be the displacement. That is 2r. Diameter is 2r. The displacement is 2r. I hope this question is clear. This is a very most frequent question, one of the most frequent question which is asked in your examination. So you should know. And mathematics should be clear to you. The like circles, about Pythagoras theorem, because really we use these in our real lives as well. Okay. Now let's move to the fourth question. This is the last question for today and the easiest question. A car is moving with a velocity of 20 meter per second. It is moving, that means the initial velocity. That is 20 meter per second. And later on its velocity is 80 meter per second. That means the final velocity is 80 meter per second. 80 meter per second is their final velocity and time is 5 seconds. Now, can't you calculate acceleration? Very easily we can calculate. We know acceleration is v minus u upon t. That is 80 minus 20 upon 5. So with this, we can easily calculate the acceleration. 80 minus 20 is 60 upon 5. That is equals to 12 meter per second square. This is your acceleration, 12 meter per second square. So now this was the question and we have finished with all the important questions. I hope this session was useful to you and even we learned so many things, right? We learned about uniform velocity, non-uniform velocity, acceleration, which is one of the most scoring areas in motion chapter. And in next class, we are going to talk about the graphical representation of motion, which is very important, as well as equations of motion, the most important topic of the chapter. Okay, and their derivation. And as well as the numericals, we are going to have a lot of numericals, at least 10 to 15 numericals in after that class. Okay, numericals of equations of motion. So with this, we have finished with this class. I hope you enjoyed and thank you, because now we are ending the video. Bye.